I am Frida Stoffer, YouTubeista. Grab a cup of coffee and sit with me. We'll sit and we'll sip and we'll talk and we'll chat and we'll all be so happy. Ich bin die Frida Stoffer, YouTubeista. Komm nur rein. Bring einen Kopf mit Kaffee und hock nur hier mit mich. Let's do a Weile.
Hello, I'm Frida again, back again. I am having an unconventional breakfast, which is normal for me. Sometimes I do unconventional things. Got my coffee here with unsweetened coconut milk in it. This is that sweet cup my sister gave me. Love is the key that opens the heart. It's a very sweet, sweet mug. I like it to drink tea in it, but this morning I've got my coffee in it. Now, my unconventional breakfast is succotash fried rice. Yesterday, I made some basmati rice with lima beans and corn in it because I was craving succotash. And then I put rice in it to share it with my husband because he likes rice. So I made it succotash rice. And I used the leftovers to make myself some breakfast. Now I have succotash fried rice. Very, very good. Succotash is something that I ate when I was a kid. I don't think I liked it very much back then, but now I love it. I can just eat a bowl of plain succotash and be happy. But the thought to add some rice was creative instinct on my part so that my husband would feel like he had dinner. He doesn't feel like he ate unless he had rice. So good. Very delicious. Yum. I have started sleeping again, thankfully. Steroids are evil, but sometimes they save a life. They've saved mine a few times. So I was fighting off pneumonia, and the doctor gave me some steroids to help with my antibiotics. And so I'm feeling better and looking forward to improving now. On a different note, last week when I was sitting, no, it was this week. So this week when it was Monday when I was sitting, or maybe Tuesday. I forgot which day of the week it was, but I was sitting here during the day when the kids were at school, and I was doing something in the living room, and the window was, I had the curtains open so I could get the light of the day. And it was exactly 12:23 because I saw the clock. And I was sitting on the love seat, and I don't know why my eyes looked out the window at that moment. I rarely have the curtain open because I like my privacy. I wasn't feeling well, as you all know. I've been sick for over a week. But I saw this kid walking out there at 12:23 in the afternoon, or around just after lunch or at lunchtime. And he had a school uniform on. I knew he shouldn't be there at that time of day, because in the middle of the day, if a child needs to be dismissed early, the parent has to come and sign them out. They can't just leave, even the kids who walk by themselves every day. And there was a white car. Sorry, I'm still coughing. I'm still sick. But it was driving slowly beside him and watching him and talking to him. And he looked like he was scared of them. So, I mean, what does any human being do if seeing a child in that situation, you know, where he's walking alone and there's a vehicle slowly driving beside him? You think something's up here. So, I don't know. I flew into flight or fight, into a panic, and I flew out the door with I forgot about being sick. I forgot about my hernia. I forgot I can't run. I forgot my keys, my phone. I didn't lock the door. I just, boom, I was down the street. I don't know how I did it, but I did. And the driver, she stopped, and most likely she wouldn't have stopped if she was really planning to kidnap him. But she did stop and talk to me, and she said that she's followed him. He crossed the big 4-lane road over here next to the school. He crossed that road all by himself, and he came down here and he walked past my house. And she has been following him to make sure nothing happens to him. So I guess I believe that story. I took her name and I got her tag numbers just in case. And while I was talking to her, that kid kept walking. He kept on walking down my street, and he turned a corner on another 4-lane road down there. He made a right down there, and anyway, this lady she had told me that he told her he's in 2nd grade. So I knew that he was very small, so he was in 2nd grade, and he told her that he lived somewhere, but it didn't sound like somewhere in here in this neighborhood. So that was confusing, but finally she left, and I turned around and came back home, pretty sure that she's not planning to kidnap him. And I immediately called the school and asked them if they're missing any children, and they said, first I tried to call the office, and there was no answer. It was completely, it went to the automated system to leave a message. But I didn't leave a message. I went on and called the cafeteria because I wanted to speak with someone immediately, because that's something you don't leave a message about. So the cafeteria worker said, well, you've reached the cafeteria, and because I explained what happened, and I said, and she said, you need the office, I'm going to transfer you. I said, no, don't transfer me. I just called there and nobody answered. I had to leave a message. That's why I called you, because I want to talk to a person. So she found the office worker, and the office worker spoke with me, and she said, no, we're not missing any children. They are all accounted for. Well, they weren't all accounted for. But for that moment, we hung up, and then I called another school that was close, within walking distance, that we thought the kid might have come from, or I thought the kid might have come from. But they also said they weren't missing any children. And when I got off the phone with the second school, my phone rang, and it was my kid's school. And they said, okay, which way was the kid going? What was he dressed? How was he dressed? And I said, well, I told them how he was dressed, and of course he had a uniform on, and that's how I knew he was probably missing from a school. So I told them all that information, and pretty soon a few cars came flying past my house. I don't have much traffic past my house this time at 12:23 or 12:30 in the afternoon. So anyway, I thought, well, they probably went to get him. They're probably out looking for him now. And then when I picked up my kids from school at dismissal time, my second grader told me that one of his classmates had run away from school, and he had but they found him, he said. And I was like, oh, thank God they found him. I was so upset because I was afraid of anything that could have happened to him. And so I contacted his teacher because my son knows that boy's teacher, and they see each other at school, and he sees the boy and he sees the boy's teacher. So my son knew that which boy had gone missing, and so I was very relieved to hear that they found the kid. But for the rest of the evening, I was just in a panic and crying and thinking about all the things that could have happened to him. He crossed a 4-lane road. He walked down the street all by himself. A lot of strangers saw him, and somebody could have picked him up. And I was a wreck for the rest of that day. Just imagining how his mom would have felt or the whole neighborhood, even, and all this, the whole school would have been, if something had happened to that kid. It would have been a disaster for everybody. But of course, I'm still grateful they found the poor kid. Anyway, so I just thought I'd tell you that story because that's something that happened this week. And in that moment of panic, I forgot all about how sick I was and all about my hernia, and I guess I got a burst of adrenaline because, boy, did I get into a frenzy, into a panic. I'm still upset about that kid because the school didn't know anything. They didn't know a kid was missing until I called them and told them I saw a kid walking down my street. And my house is at least a mile from school. How did he get so far away and nobody missed him? Somebody at school is responsible for that. So glad I have this for breakfast. Succotash. Fried rice. Can't get any better than that. Two amazing comforts in one. I'm enjoying it. But yum, yum, yum. So good. Anyway, that's the end of my breakfast, and I wish you all a happy Friday and a great weekend. My kids are having a long weekend because it's Veterans Day on Monday. So enjoy your weekends. Bye.